my honeys. Gosh, it's cold today. Today's topic is on early programming. The programming we received in our early childhood, especially. What assumptions, beliefs, and fears did your early childhood programming instill in you? How did your later life experiences confirm and solidify them into what is perhaps now your warped, broken, and damaging personal truths? In what ways today are you still creating what you don't want, manifesting what doesn't serve you, and sabotaging your own joy, your peace, and your well-being from those wounds and those false perspectives? Just one of mine was the intense and instinctive, instant fear of loss. This manifests in so many ways, just one of which is when anything good happens. It's that instant feeling of having the rug pulled out from under you, that when will the bubble burst perspective. Who is holding the pin of shattered hope that will burst the pink balloon of my happiness? Thoughts like, can I really be this lucky? Can something this great really happen to me? Oh, my soul, is this actually true? Dare I trust this? And I have to consciously stop myself, become aware of what I'm doing, take a few deep breaths, and slow down my racing heart. I say affirmations lovingly until I am calmer, often addressing myself by name. We often try to prepare ourselves psychologically against so much as a hint of potential loss. We're trying to warn ourselves not to get too happy or too excited, because this might not last. It may not be true. What if this is a mistake? And so we don't allow ourselves to trust it. And we can't relax even into the good moments or the good experiences, the happy times, the love we have, or the peace that we're currently experiencing. We have to pollute those moments from that negativity. We can become hypervigilant, especially if we've had a lot of previous trauma. Watching, checking, looking all the time, hyper attuned to our environment. Mental checklist, constantly. It's so much work. We go into safety mode, lock it down, secure it, try to make sure the good times last, which is such a contradiction because we're spoiling it in real time. That insecurity and that fear of loss is a dreadful, dreadful way to live. I often find myself doing it, even in anticipation of something good potentially happening. What I always used to tell myself is that if I psych myself up to almost expect the worst and then go one better than expecting nothing, then I won't be disappointed. That's a lie. If I expect the worst on a mental level, I tell myself at least then I'm prepared, as though that would help. The lie we tell ourselves is that it'll hurt less if we've mentally anticipated it. But that's never true. It hurts precisely the same amount. What we are doing when we do this is misusing the power of our imagination. Using it to conjure up what we don't desire, under the delusion that that somehow makes us stronger, more prepared, as opposed to using imagination for visualizing everything we do want, or flowing in gratitude for what we already have. Worry is genuinely the darkroom in which we develop our negatives, and it is the thief of our joy, which is our real power. So why do we do that? We're not consciously sabotaging ourselves. Consciously, I can believe that I am so lucky. I constantly affirm that I am so fortunate, and life is for me, and it's magical, and miracles happen to me all the time. And because of that, indeed they do. And so my beliefs are constantly confirmed by my experience. And yet, subconsciously, instinctively, those old assumptions and fears and beliefs can rise up automatically. So what can we do about that? What have I done about that? Subconscious reprogramming is a deeply personal journey. And what works for one person may not always work for somebody else. But what I have found to be very helpful in my life process is that, first of all, becoming aware that you have these patterns, that you have these assumptions and false beliefs programmed in on a subconscious level, is step one to mitigating those beliefs consciously. How do we become more aware? That's simple. Ask. Ask to become aware of what thought patterns, subconscious programming, and beliefs may be holding you back or keeping you stuck, and repeating old patterns. I promise you'll be shown. In addition, ask for the courage to face what comes to light. Ask for the persistence to do the work of changing it. And ask to be guided to your next, your better, and your best. Commit to not turn away from what is revealed to you. And ask for the self-love and the strength that will require. We can begin the work through things like affirmations, repeated 10,000 times, scripting, visualization, and meditation, which can all help on a conscious level and filter through to the subconscious mind. And when we commit to that path for long enough, and we keep doing it, slowly, it seeps into the subconscious, where it's eventually accepted as a new truth. Our brains physically lay down a new neural pathway. It can be very powerful to do this also while we sleep, because the subconscious mind is more open and receptive then, and our conscious mind isn't able to argue back or get distracted by other things. Listening to hypnosis, meditation, and frequency tracks is a very powerful thing to do to create subconscious healing. I can't recommend it enough. There are so many wonderful, wonderful hypnosis and frequency tracks available on YouTube. Some people, myself included, find it beneficial to record themselves and loop that all night. Take some time to write out what you would like your new truth to be in the highest, most positive, present tense language you can use, but be sure that you're still speaking like yourself. Make it as natural sounding as possible. Remember to hold space and grace for yourself while you go through this process too. You didn't arrive at false beliefs and fears overnight. They were programmed in over many, many years. So understand that you will not reprogram your subconscious mind overnight either, even though you're doing it in the evening while you're asleep. It might be the process of a quarter or even a year. Maybe it takes 5. I doubt it though. But you will begin uncovering more and more programming as you do this work. And that will surface to also be transformed. It is a commitment of love for yourself. And it is worth making it to yourself. Generally, people don't want to hear that something won't be fast or easy. But I'm an honest girl. It is a lifelong process, but it's an awesome one. And it leads to ever more freedom, joy, and love. I am still processing, and I am freer every day. It is so empowering, and I invite you to join me by making this commitment to truly love yourself. Integrate your freedom and your joy, and change whatever your false beliefs may be. You can, my honeys, with much love, always.